What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Xmen. This will be issue number 8. And if you have not been keeping up with this line, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this line. And with the last couple of issues, we have really been focusing on where this Captain Krakoa had come from, with us learning that this is in fact Cyclops. This is his new disguise so he can still go out there and help the world, because the world believes this Cyclops is dead. And they don't want to give up that they have resurrection. They don't want to give up that they have immortality. And there are a lot of fans that are not happy with this Captain Krakoa, especially Captain Krakoa being Cyclops. And if we learned anything in the last 2 issues, is that Scott is right there alongside you guys. He 100% does not like being Captain Krakoa. But this is what Mutant Kind is asking him to do. This is what the Quiet Council is asking him to do. And so while he may not like it, you guys may not like it, at this point, it's just something that he has to do. And it's only going to be a matter of time before he has had enough, or the world finds out that the X-Men are in fact immortal. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 8, we are picking up with M.O.D.O.K. And this is something that the X-Men series has really been doing lately, is they'll be dropping these little stories in here, and these stories have really been feeling more like filler issues than anything else. But at the end of this issue, there is a very important conversation between Captain Krakoa and Synch. But to get to that point, we have to deal with M.O.D.O.K. Now M.O.D.O.K, he is getting ready to do a new experiment, heading off to a cruise liner, one of the great places to use as a petri dish. And this is what he refers to as Project Amy, referring to the part of the brain that regulates the fight or flight response. What he has created is a rage virus, a virus that makes everyone full of bloodlust. And what we have on this cruise ship is everybody is ripping themselves apart. And so with his experiment underway, the X-Men are already in pursuit. With them getting a live stream, they have eyes on and they know exactly what to expect once they get boots on ground. And as they get on scene, recognizing that they have 2 emergencies. 1, there are people in the water. 2, everyone on board looks like freaking zombies ripping each other apart. And so with our X-Men splitting up into groups, they go off to help as many people as possible, sending Wolverine and Synch after M.O.D.O.K. But as soon as they get on board, they are immediately attacked by passengers. And Synch, even with the powers of Jean Grey, he is unable to put these guys to sleep. Whatever experiment, whatever virus is running through their system, it is blocking him from being able to put them down. But Synch, nonetheless, he lets everyone know on the boat that if you haven't drank the water yet, if you're not going crazy and trying to kill everyone, then you're probably still not infected. Which means don't drink the water, stay hidden, and the X-Men are here to save you. And so while Wolverine and Synch are making their way through the ship, Synch wants to have a conversation with Wolverine, because the 2 of them, they spent about 500 years in the vault together. And in that time, they formed a great relationship. They were truly in love with one another, and Synch had really hoped that she was going to ask about that time, but since she had never done so, he's had time to think on it, and he believes that he doesn't want to put that burden onto her, because we're talking about 500 years of history. He thought about using Jean Grey's power to be able to show her all of this, but he sees it more as a burden than anything else. But Wolverine, she does have one question. How long did it take for her to warm up to him? And he lets her know that it took 217 years. That is how long it took for Synch to have her fall in love with him. And with Wolverine being smirky, she lets him know that it only took you 217 years. You broke me down that quickly. That's relatively impressive. Saying that she admires his patience and to ask her again sometime. And for Synch, all of this is really hard, because the whole reason that he had joined the X-Men to begin with, the whole reason that he put his name in the hat, was so that he could be on the same team as her. But taking all of these thoughts and putting them off to the side, this is where they end up at the buffet inside the cruise ship. And this is where they find M.O.D.O.K. And M.O.D.O.K, he goes off on his little spiel saying that they came here early. He was hoping to be long gone before they ever made their arrival. Synch asking why you turned these people into zombies, and M.O.D.O.K lets him know, because I could, because I did it for science. And while he did it for science, he also did it for himself, to make a little bit of profit off of it. Meanwhile, on the outside, we have Captain Krakoa and all of our other heroes. They have rescued the individuals that were in the water. And Rogue, she had gone up to a plane that was under cloak. With it trying to hide, she had interrupted some experiments because AIM was trying to get as much information from all of the dead bodies as possible, trying to see exactly what this virus, this Project Amy, does to the human body. Recognizing that Wolverine, from her time in the vault, she now has adamantium claws, M.O.D.O.K shoots her into the water, knowing that it is going to be almost impossible for her to swim. And with Synch going after M.O.D.O.K, he quickly recognizes that he has to rescue Wolverine. Going to rescue her, it gives M.O.D.O.K the opportunity to jettison out of here. Little does he know, Captain Krakoa is up in the sky waiting for him. And as soon as M.O.D.O.K goes off up into the air, he is quickly brought back down to this cruise ship, letting Synch know that he would like a word in private with M.O.D.O.K. This is where we see Scott's consciousness brought into M.O.D.O.K's. And we pick up with M.O.D.O.K in his backyard, barbecuing, but what he is barbecuing is the heads of Xmen. And we have Cyclops ask the question, no, you're gonna do this Project Amy. You have all of this power, all of this capability. You are a smart and great scientist. Why make monsters at all? Why not make angels? Telling him that monsters, they can be tamed. Angels, on the other hand, they are free to roam and do as they want. So if we create monsters, it is something that we control. It is something that we can replicate, and it is a way for him to make money. And so Cyclops, hearing this ridiculousness, lets them know that here are some sharp words for you. You are gonna give restitution to every single person that you hurt. And if you choose not to, we know exactly where you live. And so with M.O.D.O.K now defeated and getting arrested, the military coming on site and thanking the X-Men for the great job they did. That's where we pick up later on back at the treehouse. And sitting up in the tree, we have Captain Krakoa and we have Synch. And Synch has come here to confess something, to let him know that he was the one that altered the reporter Ben Urich's mind. Made it to where Ben does not remember anything about Cyclops and the death of Cyclops. Now Cyclops, he already knew about this. He knew about this because he had asked individuals already if they were the ones responsible for doing this. And so it kinda got him in some hot water with the people he cares about. Synch was just a little bit worried that Cyclops would be upset with him, not realizing that he was going to make a bigger mess of things. He is quickly now realizing how much of a mess he made of the whole situation, but not knowing how Cyclops was going to react to the situation of the reporter coming forward with this information, he felt like he had no other choice. So he borrowed Jean's powers and he got rid of everything in his mind that was related to the X-Men and their immortality. And Cyclops lets him know that you shouldn't be apologizing for trying to do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, you were just trying to protect me and the mutant family, saying that he has done far worse and accomplished far less while trying to protect the family. But Synch lets him know that this was mostly done out of fear, but he did ask for the notebook. And after Sync had wiped Ben's mind of any recollection of immortality and resurrection, he did go ahead and read the notebook. And what he learned is that Ben wasn't afraid of the truth. In fact, Ben had thought they were miracles, and in his notebook, he had wrote down a kind of headline, trying to figure out what to call them, and he ended up landing on the immortal X-Men. And so all of this has got Sync thinking that he loved being an X-Men, but right now his head is just not in the game. And when he's not thinking about how he messed up that reporter's mind, he is thinking about Laura, aka Wolverine. He continuously thinks about the Laura he spent 500 years with. And what he is coming to realize is that Laura, she will never come back. There is no way to bring her back, even showing Laura all of those memories. And he doesn't believe that it is fair to the Wolverine currently to put these thoughts on her, or to make her feel these feelings, or to be haunted by the ghost of a life that she never lived. And asking Cyclops, what would you say if I no longer wanted to be an X-Men? With Cyclops letting him know that he'd say, you are finished when Captain Krakoa says you are. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, the whole M.O.D.O.K story, it was really just a fluff filler. There wasn't really any point to it. They might have that come in later on, this Project Amy. It might have some kind of plan further on down the line. But as it stands, it really doesn't seem to have any kind of real purpose to an overall story or overall plot. The biggest things that we have gotten to focus on is Sync and his relationship not only to mutant kind, but to Wolverine, to the X-Men, and everything in between. And you really do feel for him, because at the end of the day, he spent 500 freaking years with this woman. He fell head over heels deeply in love. This wasn't lust, this wasn't just a heat of passion. This is multiple centuries of built-up relations. Something that cannot be replicated. Something that cannot be replaced, and something that just will never be again. So while he has all of these memories, it's really weighing down on him. That on top of what he did for the sake of mutant kind, he's really feeling like he just doesn't belong, like he doesn't want to be here anymore, like he is willing to sacrifice everything that he is and he loves for the sake of mutant kind. And so now he is questioning if he even wants to be on the X-Men team. And of course, Cyclops, he knows more than anybody the sacrifice that it takes to keep X-Men alive, to keep mutant kind around. He has had to sacrifice more than anybody else. So he understands full well exactly how Sync is feeling. But the truth of the matter is, if he has to be Captain Krakoa, then Sync is going to have to fight on this X-Men team. And though that's a very bitter and very angry way to look at it, you have to look at everything Scott has been through. And now he is having to pretend that he is dead. And so the truth of the matter is that he is willing to sacrifice all of this, then Sync is going to have to suck it up, and he's going to have to deal with it. I think this is showing us more than anything, though, is that this idea of Krakoa is simply falling apart. From the X-Men, from the mutants themselves, not really being on board with everything going on, with Charles and Magneto hiding so much from them. Everything is manipulated, everything is a play, everything is just going sideways. And this house of cards, it is only a matter of time before it comes crumbling down. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.